What's good everyone, it's Steve from SnkrTechTalk, back with another video today. For today's video, we will be taking a look at the Nike GT Cut 3. Alright, so before we get into the shoes, let's take a quick look at the box. As you can see at the top of the box, it does say GT with a swoosh. And the size tag label does read GT Cut 3 EP, Summit White, Metallic Silver. I did get these in a size 10.5. As you can see, it says Beyond. And then inside the box, there is just standard white tissue paper. But without further ado, let's check out the shoes. So as always, starting at the bottom of the shoe, as you can see at the bottom, as far as the traction goes, it's a very aggressive herringbone traction pattern. Now, as you can see right here in the forefoot, it is spread out pretty decently, and they do kind of go up to a peak and then back down in a herringbone pattern. They do wrap up on the side, on the medial side, as well on the lateral side. So you will have a lot of coverage as far as that traction pattern goes. And then you also have some herringbone in the heel. One thing to note is this outsole is completely decoupled as far as the rubber goes. So you do have a rubber portion here in the forefoot where you will get that herringbone traction pattern. And then the same thing in the heel. It is not connected at all. You do have foam right here and then this TPU shank plate. So that's what you're getting as far as the traction goes. Now I did have these on my wood floor in the house and they were gripping something serious. And as far as the feedback, they just screech. There is a ton of loud feedback with this traction pattern. So I am very much looking forward to getting these on court, but right from the get-go, I do think these will perform great on indoor courts. Clean or dirty, I think these will be a go. So I did want to give you guys a quick look as far as what you're getting for the traction on the Nike GT Cut 3. Now, as far as the cushioning goes, obviously the biggest thing with this shoe right here is they did take out all of these Zoom airbags and they did replace it with ZoomX. Now, ZoomX is typically on running shoes. It is very nice underfoot. I have ran in the Next Percents and it just offers a ton of plush impact protection and some pretty nice feedback. Now, how they implemented it here on the GT Cut 3. So right here, this foam on the outside is pretty firm, and you might ask yourself if this is the ZoomX itself, but this is actually a Phylon foam compound here on the outside of the shoe that does wrap all the way around. Now, where you're getting that ZoomX foam is actually directly under your foot. So if you do lift that insole, I will put up a picture, but you do kind of have a full-length ZoomX foam compound directly under your foot, kind of like a Strobel board of ZoomX. And it feels very nice underfoot, pretty plush in the heel, and in the forefoot, it actually is pretty close to the floor. So underfoot directly from the try-on, it feels very nice. And you can actually see some of it poking through right here. And how do I know that's ZoomX? Because it's super soft and spongy. So it's definitely nice underfoot from my initial try on, but I am looking forward to getting these on court. As far as longevity for ZoomX, as far as my running shoe goes, they're still very nice underfoot after about 400 miles ran in my Next Percents. So I do think we will get some decent longevity as far as the ZoomX here in the basketball shoe, but I am very much looking forward to getting them on court and testing them out because I love Zoom Air. It's my favorite cushioning, and I was a little bummed out initially seeing that they did put ZoomX in the GT Cut 3, but I am very intrigued on how it's going to perform. So as far as the cushioning goes, that's what you're getting. As far as directly underfoot, you're getting the ZoomX, and then this seems to be more of a Phylon compound. So overall, I think it's a pretty decent setup. I think it will be adequate, but time will tell once I do get these on court as far as the cushioning goes. As far as the fit goes, I did go with my standard size 10.5. Now keep in mind, this is the EP version because I did get these from overseas over in, I believe, Taiwan. So they do fit a little bit wider for me in my opinion. But overall, it's a very snug one-to-one fit. My toe is basically right here at the end of the shoe, just where I like it. It's not uncomfortable. It's very snug and one-to-one on foot, and it has great lockdown as well for my initial try on. If you are a wide footer, I would recommend going up half a size because right here at the toe box near the end, it does taper in a little bit. So if you are a wide footer, I would say go up half a size. If you have more of a standard foot shape or size, I think if you go true to size, you'll be good to go. I do wear size 10.5 or 11 in most of my basketball shoes. I went 10.5 in these and I have no issues as far as the fit goes. So as far as the materials go, these do retail for 170 or 180 USD. And in my opinion, you're not really getting anything special, but they are comfortable on foot. And I do think they're gonna break in pretty quickly. So starting at the back of the shoe, at the bottom of the heel, you do have this screen mesh that does wrap around both sides. And then you have some synthetic suede here at the back where it does read Nike. And then this material up top is kind of like a textile or almost like a canvas material. Not quite canvas, but more textile. And then right here, it does wrap around the side on the lateral, all the way down here, and on the medial side also. It's very lightweight, very thin, and they have a ton of holes punched out throughout the upper for breathability. So as far as breathability goes, I think these are gonna be excellent, very breathable, and you also have that running up the tongue as well with all those little holes. Now at the toe box right here, you do have some synthetic suede that does wrap all the way up the tongue with all those little holes for breathability. And then you also have some flywire material right here on the lateral and on the medial side. That's more for support. And then some more screen mesh that does wrap down to the midfoot here on the lateral and medial side also. So overall, nothing special. I would have to say that the materials will break in pretty quickly because they're so lightweight and so thin. But that's what you're getting for the materials on the GT Cut 3. But overall on the Nike Zoom GT Cut 3, it's not a bad setup in my opinion. So as far as the support goes on this shoe, what you're getting with the GT Cut 3 is a TPU internal heel counter. So it's very sturdy at the back of the shoe. It does lock your foot in very nicely from my initial try on. Now moving your way down from the heel, you do have this lateral guardrail right here, which is kind of a rubberized material right here. So on hard lateral cuts, that's there to house your foot in to prevent it from spilling over the side of the shoe. Now on both sides, as far as the lateral and medial side, you do have this flywire material right here running through the bottom two eyelets on both sides of the shoe. So if you do crank down the laces right here, that flywire is supposed to really harness your foot within this basketball shoe to prevent your foot from spilling over on this side. Then as you can see here on the lateral and medial side, you do have all this stitch work right here, and that's to provide some extra support on those hard cuts. On the medial side, the rubber does wrap up just a little bit near the toe, and your foot is sitting housed within this portion right here also. So as far as all the hard lateral cuts that you will make in this shoe, you should be good to go as far as the lateral support. And this upper, although it's very thin and breathable, it does seem to be very supportive on foot. So I am enjoying the overall fit and support from this shoe just from my initial try on. Again, I am looking to get these on court. Moving your way to the bottom of the shoe, this shoe is very wide and stable right here in the forefoot, and it does flare out right here, kind of acting like an outrigger right here. So if you do land awkwardly, it should prevent your foot from kind of rolling over the side of the shoe. And then you also have this TPU shank plate right here at the midfoot that does offer some nice torsional rigidity. And then this shoe also has a forefoot spring plate. So as you can see right here in the forefoot, you can kind of see it's black, and that is either a TPU material or kind of like a P-Bax material. And that is to offer some nice spring back when you are making your steps. As you can see right here, it does spring back very nicely. And from my initial try on, they felt amazing when you were kind of taking any steps or running motions. I kind of wore these for a few hours around the house, and they felt very nice on foot. So that's kind of what you're getting as far as the support from this shoe right here, the Nike GT Cut 3. So overall, I think this is going to be a pretty good performer on court. And in my opinion, it better be for that price tag of 170 or 180 USD. Now, as far as the weight goes, this is a US size 10.5. The Zoom GT Cut 1 weighed 16 ounces, and the Zoom GT Cut 2s, they did bring it down to 14.9 ounces. Again, this is a US size 10.5, my same size in both previous models, and these do come in at 12.95 ounces. So they basically shaved off 2 ounces from the previous model. So all things considered, this is a very lightweight basketball shoe, and on foot, you can barely tell you have anything on your foot. They're very lightweight. Really quickly, I did just want to touch on the aesthetics of the Nike GT Cut 3. As far as my favorite out of the 3 so far, I would have to say the Nike Zoom GT Cut 1 is my favorite, and then the 3 being my second favorite, and the 2 being my least favorite. Now with this shoe right here, for me, it's a very aggressive looking basketball shoe, especially with this midsole at the back kind of extending past the shoe right here. I will have to see how that ZoomX cushioning performs, because I'm not a huge fan of basketball shoes at this price tag with only foam cushioning, but we will have to see how Nike did implement that foam setup underfoot. And as I mentioned before, you can kind of see that ZoomX poking through right here. You kind of have a standard gray Strobel board, and then the ZoomX foam right there peeking through. The insole on these guys is kind of your standard, almost like polyurethane insole, so it's definitely comfy underfoot. But if they do start to break down, I will have to pop in my Move insoles because I do prefer those for all the support that they do offer. But overall, let me know what you guys think of the Nike GT Cut 3 down in the comments. It's definitely one of the most anticipated basketball shoes here in 2024. So that's going to do it for the quick look on the Nike GT Cut 3. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this shoe aesthetically and as far as the overall tech package that they are offering in this third signature shoe from the GT Cut series. As always, if you guys can like, comment, and subscribe, it does help the channel a ton. And check out my Instagram over at SnkrTechTalk, as it is an extension of my YouTube channel with all my pickups, basketball footage, and nostalgia as a whole. As always, thanks for watching today's video, and until next time, peace.